Welcome to our video of permutations and combinations. My name is Elena.
And my name is Siley.
Definitions and when to use.
Permutations. Any of the ways we can arrange things where the order is important. For lists and order.
Combinations. Any of the ways we can combine things when the order does not matter. For groups.
And so that's how to use each one like permutation, and this is a equation. N represents the number of slots and K represents the number of slots to fill.
And combinations. The formula is NCK n factorial over parentheses n minus k factorial times k factorial, and in combinations order does not matter, and the n still represents the number of options and k represents the slots to fill.
An explanation on when to use each one is permutation. An example is determining a social security number, and everyone has a different number, but no one can have the same number.
The explanation of when to use a combination is an example of picking teams. When in teams there is no order and the work is done collectively.
It's set up equation, and this is the formula. And you put 5 people in a raffle, which is the number of options, and 2 people can win, which is the number of slots to fill. And then you get 5 factorial over parentheses 5 minus 2 parentheses factorial.
3.
And then it's subtract, which will you subtract from this equation, which would be 5 factorial from 3 factorial.
Go.
And then it would be factorials, which you would put 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and there would be 3 times 2 times 1, and then you multiply, which would be 120 from over 6. And then it would be divided, which you would divide from 120 divided by 6, which gives you 20. And then it's set up equation, and this is a formula, and n equals the number of people and k equals the number of people that can win, which gives us 15 factorial over parentheses 15 minus 3 parentheses factorial.
3.
Then you subtract 15 minus 3, which will give you 12 factorial.
Go.
And then you write out the factorials. And then the shortcut to multiply is to cancel these out. And now you're left with 15 times 14 times 13. And now we multiply, which gives us 200, 730. And set up equation, and this is your equation, and then n is the number of people and k is the number of people that can win, which n is 100 factorial over parentheses 100 minus 2 parentheses factorial.
I need a stand for the sun.
And then you subtract 100 minus 2, which equals 98 factorial. And then you put the factorials. 100 times 99 times 98 times 97 98 times 97 times 96 and then you cancel these out.
Why? Go.
And then you multiply 100 times 99, which equals 9,900.
set up the equation. So this is the equation for combinations. So 10 is the number of options you have, and 4 is the number of options you want. And it's going to be 10 factorial over 4 factorial parentheses 10 minus 4 parentheses factorial. And we have the extra 4 factorial because you don't want any repeating combinations, so you divide it by 4. So now you subtract. So you're going to subtract the 10 minus 4 in the parentheses, and you're going to end up with 6 factorial. So now we're doing factorial. So you're going to write out the 10 factorial on the top denominator, and then you're going to write out 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 parentheses, and then you have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3. And then what you can do to simplify this fraction is you can cancel out the biggest factorial on the bottom with the top. So now that you have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 with 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 below it. So next is you multiply. So 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 equals 5,040, and 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 equals 24. So now we divide. So 5,040 divided by 24 is going to equal to 10. Set up the equations. So we're going to use the combination equations to set up the problem for the burritos. So you have 20 options of filling and 5 for the options you want. So it's going to be 20 factorial over 5 factorial parentheses 20 minus 5 parentheses factorial. So now we're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract right here in these parentheses. So now it's going to be 20 factorial over 5 factorial and 15 factorial. So now we have the factorials, so we're going to write them out. So then you have 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and 15 times 14 times 13, and continue on. But to lessen the difficulty of the problem, you can cancel out the bigger factorial and get 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So the next step is multiply, and at the top half it's going to equal 1,860,480 over 120. And the last step is divide. So 20 combinations 5 equals 15,500. How many different kinds? So now we're going to set up the equation. So since there's 30 choices, it goes on the top of the denominator, and then 28 options you want out of the 30. So then it's going to be parentheses 30 minus 28 parentheses factorial. So now we're going to subtract to simplify the fraction. So 30 minus 28 is going to equal 2 factorial. So now we're going to write out our factorials. So the top would be 30 times 29 times 28 times 27, etc. And then it would be 2 times 1, parentheses, and then 28 times 27 times 26, so on. But to simplify this fraction, you're going to cancel out the top biggest numbers. So now that you have 30 times 29 over 2 times 1. So now we're going to multiply, so it's going to equal 870 over 2. So lastly, we're gonna divide, and 870 divided by 2 is gonna equal 435.